All right, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another live video. Thank you for joining. I go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already so you can look ahead to see what the next video is going to be for next week. And I also release one video per week that's not live onto my channel as well. So if you're joining the video, please let me know down below in the description or in the chat. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know who's here and where you're watching from. Just let me know that you're hanging out here with me. And I've got a good solid video. Oh, we've got Jim from New Jersey. Very nice. Jim, for some reason, I didn't know you were in New Jersey. You were so close. So good stuff, man. I lived in New Jersey for 2 years. I've lived in New York for most of my life. I've got my protein shake here. I just did a leg workout, my first workout back in my home gym here since being away for 5 days. We went down to Miami for 5 days just to get a break from the brutal cold weather here in the Northeast. It was snowing here while we were away, so I guess we picked a good time to be away. And back to reality now, yesterday and today with the cold, the snow, and our usual day-to-day routine. So in this video, what I'm going to do, I've also got my overnight oats here. So I've got overnight oats. I've got my post-workout shake from Transparent Lab. So I've got 56 grams of protein in this shaker bottle here. And I've got about 60 carbs right here. So I'll be eating this a little bit as we go through the video. So thank you for bearing with me on that. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Let me know if the microphone's working decently enough because I am on my under the desk walking pad, which makes a little bit of noise. So if the microphone's not working, the audio might suck ass. All right. So if you can, just let me know in the comments below if that is working fine, if you can hear me all right. But what I want to do in this video is simply share with you what I did while I was on vacation as far as fitness and nutrition goes, and as far as managing my fitness and my eating and things like that. Because we all are going to go on vacation uh, pretty much every year, right? And we're all going to go on various types of trips. And sometimes it can be helpful to see what I'm doing, how I handle it, how I approach it. And you can kind of save these steps if you want. You can save this video or save these steps for the next time you go on a trip. And this can be a little blueprint or a guide for the next time you go away. Because the truth is that trips and vacations often they do throw people off their game, and they are a reason why people can't stay consistent long term. Now, let me be clear before I dive into exactly what I did. I don't mean that the 5 days you're away or the 7 days you're away, or let's say you're away for 2 weeks, the 7 to 14 days that you're away, that doesn't make you obese. That doesn't make you gain 20 pounds of fat. That doesn't make you unhealthy and out of shape. But what happens a large majority of the time is that those 7 days lead to the person being off track for 3 months. They lead to the person not returning to the gym for 8 weeks. They lead to the person not opening up MyFitnessPal and tracking their food again for another 6 to 8 weeks or 6 months sometimes, right? So it's an obstacle that knocks people off their path, and it keeps them off their path for an extended period of time. And this is where, like, this is the reason why I have a profession, right? Like, this is where accountability comes in. My clients aren't doing this. They don't go away on vacation and it's 6 months before they get back to working out and tracking their food. And like, they have check-ins. They have a process where they have to report back to me. Report back to them. So my clients are very good about getting back on track after these occasions because of that level of accountability and having that connection and support between one another, right? And Jason's here too. Oh, just got out of work there in the UK. So very nice, man. Good stuff. By the way, Jason, I don't know if you got a chance to look yet, but I did add in those conditioning workouts into your spreadsheet. So let me know if you have any thoughts on those. Um, so so let me dive into exactly what I did while I was away, and I want to also explain that for me, every trip is a little bit different. Like, for example, a couple years ago, we went to Italy for our honeymoon. I wasn't trying to stay on track while we went to Italy. I wasn't trying to track my macros. I wasn't planning to find gyms and get workouts in. I wasn't planning to do any of that. I was planning to go to Italy for the first time to enjoy the culture, enjoy the sightseeing, enjoy all the things that Italy had to offer, including the food. And I was planning to be off track for those 2 weeks, knowing that I'd get right back on track when I returned. So that's a trip that was I handled wildly differently and had wildly different expectations than this 5-day trip, very close by down to Miami. All right. Now, the intention of this trip was simply to get away from the cold. It was technically a vacation, but it was to get away from the cold, just be in a place where we didn't have to put on 3 jackets, where we didn't have to shovel snow and, uh, you know, um, like be absolutely freezing all the time. It was just to get some sun. We still did plan to do some work, both me and Morgan. We had some work that we planned to do while we were down there. I planned to do some of my client check ins a little bit each morning. And I still planned to be as much on track with my fitness as I could during this trip, knowing that it was a fairly easy transition, right? Going to Italy where the food is totally different, the nutrition labels are totally different, and the part of the trip is to experience the culture and the food. That's a different mindset than going to another state nearby where all the food is very similar, right? If within the United States, the food's very similar. It's the same type of nutrition label. They're not using a different system on the nutrition label. And Miami also has plenty of gyms, plenty of like it's a very fitness focused city, right? So it'd be easy to find protein shakes, be easy to find protein bars, be easy to order something healthier or find something healthier that I wanted. So my mindset was just different going into this trip as far as I planned to try to be on track, to try to track my food, to try to come close to my macros. So let me know if that makes sense in the comments here. That there can be two different vacations that you take. One of them, you have no plans or expectation of being on track at all. You know you're just going to enjoy yourself and get back on track when you return. And another trip could be a totally different mindset where it's realistic that you can still stay on track as much as possible. Now, of course, I wasn't as consistent as when I'm here at home, but as far as a trip goes, I think I handled it pretty well. All right. So now I have here a list of 6 things that I did that really helped me to stay on track, which I'm going to go over. So the first thing that I did while we were away was get in plenty of steps. Number one, steps. I got in over 10,000 steps each day. Some days it was like 17,000, some days it was 15,000, 13,000. So, yeah, it was, we were staying active. We were walking everywhere we were going. We didn't take an Uber once except to the airport. So we stayed very active, and that's part of fitness, right? That's part of health is are you sedentary or are you active? And when you're walking everywhere, when you're walking to get every single meal, when you're walking to do anything you're going to do, walking to the beach, walking around the city, walking around the boardwalk, like that's a healthy thing that you're doing. So that's the first and easiest thing that we did health wise. The second thing is that once we got there, once we got to our hotel, we picked up some protein based snacks for the whole week. All right. There was a GNC right nearby, and picked up basically a protein shake for each day that we were there and a protein bar for each day that we were there. So just between the protein shake and the protein bar, that's like over 50 grams of protein from really low calorie sources that I could get in and ensure that at least I've got 50 grams of protein um, before I even count my meals, for the day. So that is a really helpful thing for body composition, because if you're away for 5 days or a week or more, you've got to assume that you're going to be low on protein and that you're going to be low on fiber. This is something that I noticed even more this trip. But when we're going out to eat, you have to buy lunch, you have to buy dinner, or maybe it's included. Maybe it's included in the hotel, or you're at some sort of all inclusive thing or something. The meals that you get for lunch, for dinner, for breakfast, they're going to be mostly low in protein and low in fiber compared to if you were eating at home in your usual routine. So it's really important that this is actually a big game changing thing you can do is pick up some protein based snacks and even some fiber based snacks uh, for the entire time of your stay. And automating that as your snack, automating a protein shake, maybe a protein bar, um, can really go a long way. Number three is fruit. So, not just picking up protein based snacks, but picking up some whole foods that you can keep in your hotel. Even if you don't like, we didn't have access to a stove or anything like that, but to keep fruit in your hotel room helps a little bit with the fiber, helps a little bit with just ensuring you're getting in some whole foods and some nutrients, and that you have, some healthy or macro friendly snacks available. And these are pretty much our snacks for the whole week. Like we're going out, we're getting our meals, our lunches, our dinners, and we're having the protein snacks and the fruit, but we're not just going out and getting like other snacks on top of that. We're not having chips and pretzels and like for the whole week. Like we're not just snacking on random stuff. That's the extent of it. The snacks are what you pick up. The protein-based snacks and the fruit. And this ensures that you get in a little bit more protein. At least you get to 50 grams of protein, and at least you get some whole foods with vitamins, with some nutrients, with some fiber. And you'd be shocked. Like most people are going away on vacation and they don't have a singular piece of fruit for the entire week. It's pretty crazy. They don't have a single piece of fruit for a week or 2 weeks. Um, the fourth thing that I did was really prioritizing water. All right. Comment below if you focus on any of these things. I know Jason does. When you go away, when you have a trip, or do you focus on any of these things when you go away? The fourth thing, especially being in a much warmer area, is make sure to drink plenty of water. And we were certainly dehydrated the first day that we arrived because we didn't drink a ton of water on the travel day going through the airport and stuff like that. People often don't want to drink much water when they're traveling because they don't want to have to go to the bathroom on the plane, in Ubers and long drives, things like this, right? Understandably so. But you've got to have the awareness to know that you're probably going to be dehydrated then that first day. I also saw a post on LinkedIn the other day of someone saying that because of something about the humidity levels on airplanes or the recycled air on airplanes, that it dehydrates you like 20%. I have no idea where he got that number from, but he said just the nature of being on an airplane, something about the recycled air and the humidity dehydrates everybody up to like 20%. So I don't know if that number is accurate at all. I don't know if it's 5%. I don't know if it's 35%, but it kind of makes sense. And based on how I feel anytime I travel, maybe speak for yourself based on how you feel when you travel. Do you typically feel dehydrated on that travel day? I think usually most people are. So it really makes a big difference, especially if you're going to a hot climate, to really make sure that you are drinking plenty of water. And what we did was we picked up a full gallon jug of water for every day. So each day we picked up a new gallon jug, and we would at the very least split it, so at least each of us drank half a gallon, and then on top of that we would have more water. Like, we would have a glass or two of water with each meal, and then we'd also have a bottle or two of water kind of throughout the day when we needed to, when we were out. So, I was probably drinking about a gallon myself, if not a little bit more, and she was probably drinking between half a gallon and a gallon most days. So, really important to stay hydrated just for overall health. Um, Now, number 5 and number 6. Um, Number 6 is probably the most impactful, but number 5 is that we found a local gym to train at. All right. And again, this isn't something I'll do in every trip. Like I said, when we went to Italy, if we go to another country that we're exploring for the first time, I'm going to be less likely to seek out gyms or even want to get workouts in, because I'm not in Italy to get workouts in. I'm in Italy to experience a different country, to experience the culture, to see the uh, the Colosseum and the various ruins, and to explore a totally different world, right? Compared to the US here. I'm not in Miami to do that. I Part of my trip to Miami is to explore the cool gyms. You see what I mean? So Miami has some very cool gyms, very nice gyms, and we checked out one specifically that was really, really nice. And I've been there before. And most gyms have a day pass, especially in touristy areas. They have a day pass. You can pay $20 or $15 or $25 to go for the day and get a workout in. And for me, like, that's a no-brainer. It's part of my life. It's like, what are you going to spend that $25 on anyway? A drink? Like, you're going to get a drink with that money, or you're going to do something that's like not not that great with that money, right? You're going to buy a hot dog, or it's like the prices there are outrageous. Um, but for me to spend a little bit of money to go to a gym, have a nice change of scenery, get a workout in, feel good. Uh, that's something that I look forward to doing when I go to other places, is trying out new gyms. So again, this isn't something that you have to do on every trip or you have to do at all, but it's something that I look forward to. So we did that. And number 6, this is a really big one for saving calories and not overdoing it. The sixth thing that I do is, when we go out to eat, I pick one of the following, but not multiple: appetizers, desserts, drinks. So I don't think most people realize the magnitude of this. If you go out to eat at a normal restaurant and get a normal healthy meal, whether it's tacos, whether it's um, a pasta meal, whether it's pizza, whether it's a chicken and vegetable meal, most meals are going to be about 1,000 to 2,000 calories. Some of them will be a lot more than that. Some of them will be a little bit less, but you've got to expect, you're going out to eat. Anything you order is at least 1,000 calories, and most likely more. So let's call it 1,500 calories. Fine. You go out to eat for dinner, it's 1,500 calories. That's just the entree. If you get an appetizer on top of that, some appetizers are 1,000 calories themselves. Some appetizers are 1,500 calories. Some appetizers are 600 calories, right? But it's very common that an appetizer is going to be about 1,000 calories. So now, plus the entree and the appetizer, you might be looking at 2,500 calories right there. Now, if you add, let's say you get 3 drinks, you're on vacation, right? If you get 3 drinks, each drink is 200 calories. Very modest, right? Maybe it's 150, maybe it's more. Let's call it 200 calories. So now you're looking at 3,100 calories between the entree, the appetizer, and just 3 drinks. 3,100, very realistic amount. Now, if you get a dessert on top of that, again, a dessert, like one slice of cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory is 1,500 calories. One slice. If you get a dessert at most places, it's probably the same. You got to expect it's 1,000 or more. So now you're looking at, let's call it, so we were at 3,100. We're at 4,100 calories now. And by the way, it could be more. It could be 4,500. It could be 4,900. It could be 5,100. It could also be 3,800, 3,900, but we're going to call it a realistic 4,100 calories for that dinner. If you get everything, if you get appetizers, desserts, drinks, and an entree, that's like 2 full days of eating, right? You're now adding an eighth day in the week of eating, and this is just one meal. What did you eat for lunch? Right? Did you have pizza for lunch? Did you have like did you have more drinks earlier in the day? What did you have for breakfast? You might be looking at a 7,000 calorie day, 8,000 calorie day of eating. Without realizing, it's easy to eat 7,000 calories in a day. If you add drinks and desserts, it's easy. So, not saying this is going to make you obese. There are people who you might be watching this right now who have had 7,000, 8,000 calorie days and you don't realize it. You're actually in good shape, right? Many of my clients have done this. They might not realize that they've had 7 or 8 or 9,000 calorie days and they're still in great shape because most of the time they're really good. But this is why this strategy works so well while you're away. It doesn't really take away from the enjoyment of the trip. If you want to be in like great shape, there's going to be some level of sacrifice that you make in some areas of your life. I'm not saying you can't have appetizers, desserts, and drinks at all. I'm saying pick your favorite. Pick your favorite of the three and have that, but don't have all of it. That's what I do. So most nights while we were away, we had a dessert. I ended up having 2 drinks for the whole 5 days. I had 1 drink on one night. I had 1 drink on another night. I had 2 total drinks. Not bad. I'm not a big drinker. In fact, even the times that we had the drink during this trip, I didn't love it. It's not my thing. But I did have desserts every other night. I had 3 nights of desserts. That's the one I chose. We almost never get appetizers. We order whatever we want for our entree, and that's it. So again, this is a strategy number 6, picking your favorite between appetizers, desserts, drinks. This is a strategy that will save you thousands of calories over the course of your trip. I mean, in one meal, it could save you 3,000 to 4,000 calories. So if you do that every night for dinner, depending on how long you're away, we're talking about this might save you 10,000 calories over the course of your vacation. If you have a week-long vacation and every night you practice this strategy for dinner and you save, let's call it a modest 2,000 calories a night because you're not having the appetizer or the dessert, you're just having drinks and an entree. Let's say you save 2,000 calories from that. over the course of 6 nights or 7 nights, you're saving 12 to 14,000 calories. That's 3 pounds of body fat that you didn't gain. Seriously, they say 3,500 calories over your maintenance calories is what it takes to gain a pound of fat. You're saving 12 to 14,000 calories in the week. This one strategy is a life changer for that reason. This is what balance is, right? This is what being an adult and having balance in your life and nutrition and fitness and enjoyment is. It's like you can enjoy some things for sure. Enjoy your drink, but don't also have dessert with it. Enjoy your desserts, but don't also have tons of drinks with it. This is everything in moderation, right? This is having balance. You can't have everything and expect great results. You can't have every single thing that you want. You can't have the appetizers and the desserts and the drinks and the entree you want and expect that you're going to handle it really well and see the best possible results. No, you've got to have some balance somewhere. There has to be some sacrifice somewhere. All right? Let me know if that makes sense. Again, it's choosing your favorite rather than choosing everything. It makes a big difference. And that's why I spent the most time on that one. All right? Now, this is how I typically handle a trip like this. Again, not every trip will I'll approach like this where I'm trying to be on track. I didn't practice these things when we went to Italy, and if we go somewhere else abroad, I probably won't practice these things as well. Maybe some of them I will. We'll certainly practice the steps and getting in tons of steps like we did in Italy. We'll certainly try to pick up some protein-based snacks if possible. If the country we're going to has those available, sure, I'll happily grab those. I'll happily try to get my hands on fruit whenever I can. I'll happily drink half a gallon to a gallon of water every day. But finding a gym to train at isn't something I'll do on every trip. And how flexible I am with nutrition is dependent on the type of trip. So this trip, I tracked my macros. I tracked everything I ate. I had to estimate a lot of it, but I did track everything I ate. And I was trying to reach my target macros. In Italy, I wasn't even tracking my food. I didn't even attempt to track my food because that's not what I was there to do. I wasn't there to be on track. I was there to have a really nice life experience. And then I'll train and track my food in the other 50 weeks of the damn year, right? That's the approach that I took, and that's what I did. So, hope this was helpful. If you want some help, personalized help with losing more body fat here in 2026, building more muscle, improving your health, having a step-by-step plan with accountability and guidance and coaching, feel free to reach out and apply to work together. Happy to chat it over and see what makes the most sense. And if I can help, I'm live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And I release an additional video that's not live on my channel here once a week. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to get notified about those. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video. All right. Bye.